having to use the black filament. I wanted to use the purple that I picked up in a charity shop, but it's PLA plus, and it doesn't seem to matter what settings I try and use, I just can't get a good print with it at the moment. So rather than waste any more time with it, I'm using the black. Right, any idea what this might be? I'm not going to tell you at the moment, although I expect it will be on the video title by the time you actually see this video. That was 6 hours 10 minutes, and I'm just going to print another one. Hi guys, this video is for my Put a Rubber Band on It channel, because it will be a rubber powered ducted fan driven car, as requested by Spencer Hunt. Now I'll put a link to his channel in the video description. Well worth a visit. He hasn't got many videos there, but the projects that he has done are excellent. Great stuff. So I think he'll probably make a much better ducted fan driven car than I will. But because he's asked, I've had a look, and I've done a bit of 3D design to make a ducted fan. I've done fan driven cars, but obviously a ducted fan is putting your fan inside a duct or a tube. So that's what I've done here, and I'm using the tubes as part of the bodywork chassis. The fan, I haven't gone into great detail and careful aerodynamics. I've just used standard bits off of Tinkercad and put them together to give me this impeller, fan, whatever, inside a tube. Spins quite nicely. I don't think it's going to generate a great deal of thrust. Obviously you could tinker with it to get a better blade design. First print failed. I don't know why it failed, but it just failed. So this is the second print. I have got a little washer in between. There's also it's got a spacer printed into it to move the fan away from the supports, and then I've got a little brass washer there to reduce the friction as well. Oh, my train's just falling over. It keeps doing that. I leave it running all the time, and as soon as I start filming, it decides to fall over. Anyway, back to this. The idea is, that's a bit of bicycle spoke or 2mm wire. I shall bend it over at the front so it grips, and then fold a fork in it on the back here. Those two holes there are for a bit of 6mm dowel, which will fit into there. For simplicity, I printed another duct exactly the same for the back end. So I'll just cut that bit of dowel in half. I assume it's 1 metre long, but I don't know if it is or not. It probably isn't. Does it tell us? I think that says 900 millimeters long. So yeah, it's not 1 metre long. So I'll cut that in half. So whatever that is in half is the length of my car. More bicycle spokes for the axles. Then I'll use CDs for the wheels, because I always do. I'll 3D print some hubs for the CDs to go on to match up with the bicycle spoke axles. And we'll give it a go. There is a guy who did a rather nice wooden ducted fan rubber powered car back in 2014. I'll put a link to his video. He had quite a long body for his, so he could get plenty of rubber on it. And to be honest, it didn't really work that well. So I am not expecting a lot from this either. My opinion is you want quite a large fan blade to get the best out of your rubber. And I think this is going to be too small. And you want a long body so you can get plenty of rubber, so you can get plenty of turns. But then again, I'm only expecting to run up and down my kitchen 5 metres for the kitchen, or 8 metres if we go all the way out into the conservatory here. So that'd be the maximum distance I'm hoping to run. So anyway, I'll print off some hubs for the CD wheels and we'll see if we can put it all together. Well, it all fits together. So I've bent up a bit of wire to grip the fan impeller. Just using a bit of, just bent it over so it actually sticks in the blades there. Probably not the best way to do it, but it'll do for now. And then bent a hook on the back of it. 2 bits of 6mm dowel. That's the chassis. Bicycle spokes as the axles, front and back. CDs with my clip-on hubs that match the internal diameter of the CDs. So that looks okay. I'm just going to use rubber bands for now. That's the power source. Those of you who are nice enough to have watched all my videos may have seen I did a recent post-bag video where I've got some hobby grade rubber arrived. Well, that wasn't ordered for this project, that was for something totally different. But potentially I could use it as 10 metres of 3/16 hobby grade rubber that would go backwards and forwards between there quite a few times and give us quite a powerful motor. But that isn't what I bought it for. At the moment I'm just going to loop the rubber bands round there and back to the front, so from there round there and back again. But there is a hole in the middle of there that I could put a shaft through with a hook on it, so we could actually wind it externally with a proper winder to make winding it up easier. But at the moment I'm just going to turn the blades backwards to wind it up, and we'll see if it actually moves. Just using some Poundland rubber bands that I'll link together. So you put one through the other and then back through itself. And do that enough times to give us enough to go round and back again. Probably several times by the time we finish this, because I doubt whether we'll have enough power. But we'll find out. I'll do lots of them. Right, first strand. So on the hook, round the back. Forwards again. And back to the hook. So that's our first strand. And I will wind that up and see what happens. Right, just for reference, I got about 300 turns on it before it broke. So we know not to put 300 turns on it next time. Right, we have about 240 turns on there. So if I let that go, yeah, well, we did the distance. That's my just over 5 meters for the kitchen and another 3 meters for the conservatory. So about 8 meters, give or take a bit, minus the length of the car. So yeah, did about 8 meters with Poundland cheap rubber bands. Let's see if we can go back the other way. For the second run, I doubled up the number of rubber bands. So we got 4 strings of rubber bands. In fact, there's 10, 5 each way. So that's actually 20 rubber bands I've got there, cheap Poundland rubber bands. And that went a lot faster on the way back there. So I think with hobby grade rubber, that would go absolutely fine. So thanks Spencer for the inspiration to have a go. It went better than I expected. I've no idea how well it would go in a bigger space. I am limited in where I can test it. But it was still accelerating at the end there. It still had power. It wasn't freewheeling. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Much better than I expected.